Yeah, it's back to a full pond. Yeah, it's a lot more rain than I thought. Anyway, there would have been. I was hoping for less. But whatever. No disasters, I don't think. Probably. Oh, except this chair's wet. Anyway, so morning. Yeah, morning video in the lovely backyard. Yes, it's going to be the new Gary location, I believe. I think I will mow this area and fix it up some more, de-weed it and whatnot, and be quite content and such. So, Pyrrho, he did one of those googly rooms, which is evil in and of itself. But anyway, yeah, so whatever. What people will compromise for convenience, feed the corporation. Anyway, so just a general video on the subject of what it means to be an atheist, I suppose, what it means to use language, whether you're trying to make communication as a human more precise, more scientific, more fact-based, or whether you're trying to make language more mushy, more wishy-washy, more fake, more dishonest, more subjective. These are two ways of being human. Trying to improve human intelligence or trying to destroy human intelligence. And I would argue that these New Agers are just destroyers of intelligence. They're destroyers of progress. They're the enemy of anybody who sees efficiency in reason and logic and careful and deliberate identification of things and reality. People who drive carefully and people who drive recklessly. People who could handle the responsibilities of power and people who couldn't handle it. It's just you can't make it more black and white than when you get to these kind of subjects of the core true colors, so to speak, of people, and whether they're going to be a blight, a menace, or do something with their mixing machine, their brain, that empowers the next generation to do something more with their brain. And obviously, I'm just going to argue that you could go into an hour-long elaborate proof of why cleaning our language of erroneous and misdefined words is intrinsically and fundamentally productive to the thinking process. That smashing into brick walls is not good for your car. I mean, we can just, the logic is quite obvious that we can describe what the end game is, which is accuracy, completeness, and, all the necessary completeness. We know what concepts like efficiency mean, and we know smashing into brick walls to get to the grocery store is not going to be what's going to be called efficient. And these noise makers, these mess makers, this scientific diarrhea of pseudoscience, made-up mush, complete projection based on their own needs. They'll even concede it. They'll even say it. I'm inventing this theory basically because it makes my life meaningful. They're basically saying I couldn't live without it. They can't live without their lies, and they're selling it as a rational philosophy. I mean, where do you go with that? I'm lying to myself, basically. I admit I'm lying to myself. I'm making up all this wishy-washy just to make my life sufferable. You do it too. Be a pepper. I'm a liar. Be a liar too. You just can't. You're just overt, sadistic, malicious criminals. There's no other word for this. You're either a rational, reasonable, concerned, deliberate human being, or you're an asshole, and they're assholes. Their theology is a theology. It is not a rational scientific. There's nothing rational in Pyrrho's quantum brain theory. Even if he was correct, and he's not, that there was something actually probabilistic in photons. um, it would still be probabilistic by his own definition, which means it would follow patterns, which means it wouldn't have any of this random thing you need, to create what would be some sort of good force versus bad force. And that the quantums are going to make all the critical decisions in your life. They're going to define your characters, defined by photons. The photons are helping you, just like they're helping the pyrrho314s go get food. It is just so silly. He said it overtly. He's not a determinist. So what's the alternative? Oh, let's see. If it's not determined by some mechanical function, then what is the alternative? Oh, the non-mechanical good fairy. That's right. There really isn't any alternative for a rational human being if they give it just a little bit of thought. Determinism is a trap. Once you say the word, once you contemplate the theory, if you're going to be fair to the facts, you're fucked. You can't run away from them. Well, you can, like I said, but only by cheating, only by lying. Determinism's all there is. There is nothing else. There's no place you're going to go find a freedom. It's not possible. It's not, you can't invent a source of knowledge without giving that source some sort of knowledge. Where did it get its knowledge from? Where did the quantum figure out what a good idea is? Jesus, it's just so stupid. To say they're pushing the balance in some direction. Just ludicrous. Logic is a process. It has to have the bits in it. It has to have the ones and zeros, and it has to go back to the original causes and all this crap. You can't escape that. And he even does that. He even pulls that crap. Well, then what caused the Big Bang? Well, guess what? None of us has that answer. But I can tell you it wasn't some quantum sitting on the toilet reading a dirty magazine that said, oh, I guess I'll invent the universe. Fuck. So anyway, this is just a silly conversation to have with semi-literate fucking people who've survived a grammar school education. There's just no reason to have to do this. To have an argument about what the truth should mean to you. And that fucking lies and dishonesty and projections and baby talk, placating silly emotions that we can see the evolution of. Again, this whole conversation, you want to have a conversation. So if there was no human beings on Earth, you would still claim the animals are spiritual. They're having spiritual experiences. As they're sniffing in the dirt for some worms to munch on, they're being spiritual about it. The spirit guides of the photons are telling them where the worms are. And the worms, even though the worms are praying to the quantum, don't get me eaten by a bear today. Their quantum power somehow isn't strong enough to keep the good force quantums that are helping the bear eat the worms are somehow not the same quantums that are trying to save the poor worm from having a fucking bad day. What the fuck? This is just, woo is too kind a word. This is poo. This is intellectual fucking poo. And people should despise people spouting these lies, this nonsense, this gibberish, as if it's some sort of valid, rational thinking, as if it has something to do with people trying to understand reality and trying to be good humans. You're not being a good human if you're a liar, a compulsive, self-serving, convenient liar. Pyrrho would have contempt if somebody were to argue, on say global warming or something, and use arguments as lame and disconnected from everything we do as a fact to know, to defend their, go ahead, screw the planet theory. Like I said, he's exactly the menace. It's obviously, it's not religion in and of itself that is the problem. It is this selfish son of a bitch human that is the problem. It is the nature of the human who does not learn early in life that the truth has to be honored in the end. You can cheat here, you can cheat there, you can connive your way around it for maybe your youth. Maybe you can be a delusional little selfish prick when you're a kid, but there's some fucking point in your life where you have to grow the fuck up and say, yeah, I'm going to be a man. I'm not going to be a little coward, a little pussy, a little conniving, weaseling bastard. And you would think that every human would have to encounter that moment in their life where they do some real introspection and say, what am I going to be? A liar, a self-serving, manipulative, conniving spewer of absolute self-serving crap? Or am I going to ball up and man up and accept that I'm a selfish son of a bitch, accept that I'm a goddamn dirty, stupid animal, and that if I'm going to be something of value on this motherfucking planet, I have to make some effort to be a little better than that. I'm going to have to honor the truth, and I'm going to have to accept the truth of first my own fucking goddamn frailty, my own fallibility, the fact that I am a goddamn bug on a fucking goddamn bug planet. This is just one of these things you got to do if you're going to be you have any hope of navigating existence in anything but a selfish, stupid, ignorant manner. Every bit of contemplation he gives the social necessities is all about him. It's about him being, he's nothing but a politician. He would perhaps love to be involved in some sort of good work for society merely because he could get his name on it. He has no sincere passion because he has no sincere concern. Quite obviously, if you can rape the goddamn truth, you can rape anything, anyone, anything. And yet he'll talk about rape as if he has some sensitivity, as if he knows what it is, or he can imagine what it is, or he has imagined what it is. He hasn't imagined shit. He doesn't know shit. He's just a selfish fucking pig oinking his way to the fucking trough of ego gratification, and then calling himself enlightened and spiritual and introspective, and he's a deep thinker. Yeah, right. It's deep thinking to cop the fuck out and, oh, well, yeah, this God shit doesn't work out because it's a ludicrous story written by idiots, so I'll invent the quantum God. Just so obvious, so transparently obvious what he's doing. It doesn't really work, transparently obvious. I've always been bugged by that. When somebody says you're transparent, well, if they're transparent, then I'm not seeing it. So we should be saying you're so fucking opaque. So, it's those little imbecilities in language again. And it's just, that one's always bugged me, so I might as well just point out it's always bugged me. And every time my brain goes there, I say, don't even go there because these words don't make any sense. Obviously transparent? No. You're obviously opaque. I see you. And what I see is a talking, walking pile of shit. Just absolute crap. Bibble babble. A big, giant, emotional, fucking retarded baby clanking its fucking rattle around, going and laughing. You're just you're fucking Teletubbies have more dignity as philosophers than these. Let's just make up a fable to describe what the fuck's going on here. These plants are hungry for sunlight. They're hungry. And then they get thirsty, and then they walk over to, oh, that's right, they don't do that. They just have to find a way to make it non-mechanical, non-gross. And that's all it is. It's just an excuse to take the gross out of the story so they can make it all Jedi fun. And just a fantasy. That's all it is. They're just fantasizing and calling it philosophy. And the people who have any goddamn passion, any understanding of how vitally important it is for the human race to get rational and to get rational really fast, anybody who understands how vital that is to the welfare of trillions, perhaps, of sentient organisms, should be pissed the fuck off. Oh, anyway. Yeah, I mean, fuck. This is just so pitiful. We're sitting in a world where people are babbling ritualistic mumbo jumbo at temples and all this other crap, and these people are just basically just saying, well, let's make our own little temple over here and do the same thing, and calling themselves you know, like they're walking some new path, like they're boldly going into another temple of bullshit, another remake of the same failure. Let's just do it all over again. Wrong. Yeah, oh wow, that's so clever. Yeah, let's do it exactly the wrong way. Let's follow the same exact wrong blueprint of fake premises, false nonsense, run away from the inconvenient truth of what's going on this bug planet. Shit. Anyway. Yeah, just that's another asparagus just saying, please, pick me. Yes, pick me. Well, I might take you. You are kind of robust. There's one over there too. There is a point where you have to let them grow, or you will decimate them into death. You can only steal so many a year. That's the game. Blueberry bushes. These are kind of interesting little flowers on blueberries. Which is surprising. The carpenter bees are really low in number this year, which is strange, because you know they usually, carpenter bees love these flowers, and they usually drill little holes in the sides of them. So usually they all have holes in the side of them because the bees eat a hole in the side to feed, and they haven't. The only thing that's been on them is hummingbirds, which is surprising. And hummingbirds seem rather desperate to be going after blueberry flowers. So, it's just kind of weird. But I was thinking that just as I saw one of those cicadia wasps the other day, and I was thinking maybe the cicadia wasps also kill carpenter bees. But, you know, and there was a big cicadia thing last year, so there'd be lots of cicadia wasps this year with no cicadas to eat, one assumes. Yes. You don't care, do you? Oh, your fur is so nice after the rain. Yeah. Yes. Very soft. Very soft. Yeah, rain does. It's good for my hair, too. Oh, yeah, I think that's... Whoa! Oh, man, you almost killed me. He's always doing that shit. Fucking cat. Oh, that's strange. The water is gone out of here. That is really fucked up. Right? I mean, how would the water get out of that container? I mean, after the rain, it's emptier. That's really fucked up. I mean, if a deer knocked it over to spill the water, right? The deer would come back and, oh, we better put it back out. You know, that's, I'm Quantum did it, maybe. Quantum stole the water. Ah, I see a drip. There's the evidence. Okay, it's dripping. Yeah, so it acquired a leak in a day. That's pretty cool. Something drilled a hole in, I suppose. Anyway, you see my garden's growing. I'll show you my garden. It's in the protected area. This thing is just not looking right at all. This rhododendron just looks... This one looks okay. See, that's the way they're supposed to look. And that's the way that one looks. So I'm kind of thinking that one's in trouble. Anyway, I got some of them things, whatever they're called. And I got some of that, some of them, some of these, some of that, some of that, some of that. Asparagus is over there, little baby asparaguses. Anyway, mostly zinnias and petunias and what the hell are those things called? I always forget their name. You know, I was thinking like gardenia. It's not gardenia. It's geranium. That's it. Germanium. I have to think of something German to associate them with. like that ring in it or something. I have to associate it with Nazis somehow. Somehow I have to turn these into a German plant in my brain so I can remember the fucking name is geranium. So I can never remember it. So yeah, my amaryllis is going to have a flower after all these two. I was thinking none of them are going to flower, but this one's got a flower coming, that one's got a flower, so that's good. That would have been kind of disappointing to get nothing. So anyway, enough of that crap. I'm just throwing it in for free. Got more gardening going on in there. And there's more gardening going in over here. I have to check the greenhouse anyway, so I'll take you with me. Got some more gardening going on in there, and there's gardening in there. There's gardening in there also. This is the one I gotta watch because it gets temperature sensitive and then gets too dry. Oh, it's plenty wet in there. Ooh, yeah, everything's saying, ooh, it's nice and warm in here. Yeah, okay. So there's a little cat. Cranky bitch bastard cat. Fucked up neurotic cat. Where's Mello? Yeah, you don't see the yellow cat too often. I have to get him sometime. You know, he's a, you know, like kind of an Angora cat and long hair and all. Hey, you two stay away from each other. I don't want no trouble from you. Come on, I'll get you your food. Jesus. I'll get him his food and they'll still get in a fight. That's all they seem to be able to do. Animals. Anyway, the Angora cat, the yellow one. You know, he was all wet yesterday. It was just kind of, yeah, it's kind of pitiful. The quantum was not with him. He had such a face on him, like, oh man, I hate this shit. He looked like an antinatalist cat. Now that one's coming out of there, and that one's going to go over there. No, it's politics. Anyway, so, till next time. And such. Ah, there they go. Ah, you heard that. Yeah, you probably heard that. I'm going to go find out who beat up who.